first item on the agenda is the briefing of actual status of the project.
Yeah, so actually, status of the project, during and stuff.
We're finishing up building 24 in phase 4.
During this week.
Yeah, we're doing the stucco and the painting. And we're working to finish the fencing in front of the units in phase 4.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
And working in
In
phase.
phase 4, we're
Yeah.
trying to finish the fence
Okay.
in front of the units.
Yeah.
And we had a little bit of a setback with the gutter company that we hired, that we signed a contract. Basically,
I'm sorry,
they
I
gave
give
us
them one more
1,000.
chance until tomorrow. If tomorrow they not here Monday, I have a different company starting.
Okay, so when can the unit owners in phase 4 expect to see the installation of these gutters?
Monday.
Starting Monday.
Okay.
Now, the question remains, and I was told by Larry that the gutter guy is the one that does the trim on top of the fence to support the gutters.
I have a problem with it. The problem is the city, to do that, so we have a permit, I need to pull up, to close the permit. So if we do anything on top of that fence, we're not gonna pass inspection. Only if we get any drawing, what kind of stance is gonna be, how things gonna be installed, to try to get it through the building department, we can install it. But I have a different idea, and I think it's better for everybody.
Okay.
So, because the water needs to stay on each property. I understand some, they have, like they split because it's coming in the valley, so it not splits two properties. But what I want to do, and it's better and, it's not really cost involved. So I'm gonna make like a drain, like a French drain next to the fence. So it's gonna be a pipe, so the downspout is gonna go into the pipe, and the pipe is gonna be under the ground, and the water is gonna drain there. So you guys not gonna see, yes, if it's a lot of rain, you're gonna have water like everywhere else, but even if you have the gutter or don't. But otherwise, it's gonna drain under the ground, so nobody's gonna have problem with water. It's not gonna look, not aesthetical, by being on top of fence, and it's gonna basically be hard. And it's just gonna have a nice downspout going on, depends, like I said, where it's more easy on which side of mostly in the property, meaning every building in the back of the buildings, how they have, because some of them they come, and that's gonna be more better. And
I think
hiding.
the engineering firm needs to weigh in, because here's the concern, okay? The concern is foundation. So if you're gonna put a pipe, you're gonna put a pipe running where?
It's gonna drain in the yard.
But it's gonna drain under the sidewalk?
Well, in the yard, in all their yard, in that yard, so it's
What
gonna be.
about the front, what about your front fences? I understand the backyard, so the further
Front
away
fences,
it
they will
drains, the
just go the
better.
way how they used to be, they're not gonna go on top of the fence.
They were on top of the fence.
Yes, there were.
They were, yes, but now you guys redo it, pull a permit to redo everything, so you have to do it by today's law. They're not gonna allow you to put on top of the fence. I'm telling
I'd like
you.
to see, I'd like for you to share, or we'll look on the plantation code. I'd like to see that where the code doesn't allow you to put it on top of the fence, because where else would it go? You
Where?
certainly don't want it close to the building, so if you have,
The downstairs need to
downspout.
be attached to the building, follow the building down, and then from the building needs to have a 6 inches and a splash guard, what is gonna take the water away from the building. This is the way how it goes everywhere. So that's a Florida building law, not just a city.
we were originally told that the perimeter units that have their backs to Sunrise 70th, 17th, and 75th could not go over the wall like they are now, that's not code, I understand that. So we talked about the downspout running along the fence further away from the foundation to avoid water buildup and let it drop down, right?
Yeah.
That has
This is
nothing,
what
that has nothing to do with the internal units, it never said that
It's
the
gonna be in
internal.
their property, the water has to drain on your property. Your water from your building has to drain on your property. Cannot go outside of your property. After drains and then leaks under the fence or whatever, that's different story. But to drain the water from your property, from your house, you cannot drain it on city property or on your neighbor property. Okay, that's a code.
Can you present to the board options, what it looks like?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm having trouble envisioning this, because the way.
You're not gonna see anything, you're just gonna see a pipe going down from the wall and goes into the other pipe that's under the ground.
Well, a lot of these yards flood, so that's just an active problem.
Well, you can flood either way, so that doesn't matter.
Well, if you're
I mean,
diverting
this is
water
gonna be
away
under.
from the building and away from.
But it's away from the building, you have a French drain. So a French drain is installing a pipe under the ground, away from the building, in the length of that property, wherever it is, from the building to the fence. And that's gonna be in there, so that's gonna drain in there.
I think
In
the
the summer,
visual,
when
I think the visual option for the board is better. This is not our area of expertise, but I have a question for you. When you don't properly run a line, a drain line under, where it actually goes somewhere, for example, into an area where there's rocks, you know, like they use for the sewers and things like that, aren't you risking that water that's running away from the building, sitting at a certain point? Doesn't that create at some point like a sinkhole? Doesn't it compromise the soil underneath at some point? And
May-
you're gonna start seeing
may-
sidewalks warping? I mean, I'm just trying to.
May create, but why you gonna put the water to,
So it
Well,
can,
see,
see,
yeah,
that's,
good
we need
drain,
to find,
but-
we need to find proper drainage.
but the water needs to drain on the property. So this is why the city doesn't want you to drain on their property or on the neighbor property.
We have storm drains all around here, the water needs to be diverted towards the storm
The
drain.
storm drains is not yours, that's city property.
But,
And no water can,
well, right now, my gutters go out to the storm drain.
yes, but it's not legal.
Well, that's what it should be.
No.
Okay, let's present
Drainage
something,
is
let's
free.
present a visual, please, because it's, and from an engineer perspective, because I have concerns about after so much water sitting under, at a certain point, you're gonna start to see land where like this, you're gonna start seeing sidewalks sinking, and.
Probably, I'm not saying
Yeah,
no.
probably, but we need a solution.
How do we get to visuals? Do we take like a field trip, maybe, and then show us, or?
You can go now.
No.
After the meeting.
Please provide a visual, because I'm still not convinced, and I'm gonna do some more research about the internal units not being able to go over the fence, because that's common
If
area.
the fence is not a structural thing, so you cannot touch anything to the fence. It's not structural. Okay? So for you to design something to build, I don't know, the engineer needs to do it, but
Can you go
I
into
never
that
thought
for
of
us?
it.
Yes.
Before
Yeah,
that
what are
expression.
we just need options, please, before the gutter work starts, okay?
When these were
Can
built
I say something?
and those gutters were put up there, was it illegal in the beginning, years ago?
every
changes.
2 years change the code. Okay? And
Some-
adding to the code, you know, changing, like the whole thing is not taking it away, but it's not valid, basically it's void because the new code is overtaking. Okay,
So
that's
when you
the-
rebuild, you have to follow the code.
And every time you pull a permit for, roofing or, structural, meaning GC, when you close that permit, it has to be closed by today's code, most of the stuff. What you have there, when you replace a kitchen, this is why you have to pull a permit for your kitchen, for your electric, and for your plumbing, because it has to be by today's code. And
Why
you
didn't
rebuild the
we
kitchen.
know this a year ago?
I don't know. This is 2023, December 2023.
Why are we just hearing about it now, though, that you can't do it?
But that one you should ask the politician, not me, because I don't know how to answer to that. because I don't make this
So
law.
did you just learn about this, or you?
It's a code what comes every year, either in September or in December, and that's the code addition to the existing codes what was made and
But you didn't know in January that this was a
if I
problem?
know you, I said that for a long time, I say the water has to stay on the property. I say that, long time ago. Because I had problem with that, and not just this year, I had last year problem, and that one is for a longer time, that road.
Okay, so, is it Madge? Madge,
Yes.
can you please, find solutions for
For
us,
sure,
please?
we'll look at the code, and maybe we
Look
can.
at the code and what options are,
We'll
please.
find the options.
Yeah, and we need a visual, okay?
I gotta say something about the gutters. Right now, of course, it's disconnected, but prior to it being disconnected, the drain pipe that came down, like by my shed back there, we attached a corrugated 4 or 6
Yeah,
inch
to get it out.
plastic pipe and ran it all the way to the fence underground. And there's no problems at all.
Yeah.
That's
None whatsoever.
Oh, that's a French name, what you say, exactly, this is what I'm gonna make
The
of it.
problem is, right now, never mind, yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah, that's always an option. There's always an option, but then you have people that attach, and that's happened, I know in phase 4, attach that. It's like an accordion,
Yeah,
and
you
they
have to
let
see
it
that.
sit on the sidewalk.
You
And
have
then
to
it
see
becomes a
that.
trip hazard. No, I know that. I understand the French drain thing, but I think we all just need a visual, please, because we need to see options, because that's not the way they were. And the code has changed, I understand, but my understanding is city property, which is the perimeter. Association property, I thought it was different. It's our common area, and I think I addressed this, I think I addressed this with Rhonda when it first came up. And I posed the question, I said, what does the city have to do with association property? If the association agrees to have it the way it used to be for the internal units, why would it matter? So I don't know about the structural, you can't, put something on a fence. It was like that years ago, so at some point it was allowed. So we
Well,
need
was
to
allowed,
explore
I'm
it.
sorry to interrupt, was allowed or nobody pull a permit to do it, because the
No,
gutter guy
they-
comes and doesn't do it with a permit. Gutter guy doesn't pull a permit.
Well, I know when I bought here in 2004, that's the way it worked. So
No,
this
I
has gone
understand,
back
it's
years.
probably is for
And it
one
was
time.
changed, the gutters were changed one time after that. Okay, any other questions regarding gutters before we go to the next agenda item? So my understanding is Monday, we should start seeing some gutter activity. Okay, do you realize that some individuals that have pavers, that there's been damage, not damage, but sand that's washed away from the pavers? What are you going to do about it? Because of the delay of the gutters.
Why is it delayed?
Because of the rain.
It's not ready to install gutter anyway.
The backs,
If we
yes.
talk about delay,
The backs,
it's
yes.
nothing ready to install,
Why is it not ready to
because I
install?
want to pass inspection.
Pass what inspection?
All the inspection that I have to pass.
So you wanna finish the fences first, is that what you're saying?
Well, the fence is finished, it's gonna be probably finished this week, the phase 4. I don't know how far, but close. So this week, probably over the weekend, if they did over today. But, I wanna, close that phase 4 probably by the end of next week.
Okay. What do you mean by close phase
I mean,
4?
finishing, working with the engineer, making sure everything is done before that guy goes on.
Before the gutter goes up, but not the final punch walkway?
Because we still need to talk about gutter where, mostly in the front, where is the valley comes and you have the meter there, how are we gonna put that gutter? And because it's too close for the meter, so I don't know how we're gonna do that to be able to pass those. Because you're gonna have a fire, and like you said, why the city cares about that, why the city cares about your colors. Why the city cares we have to pull permit for your colors, so we put the colors. So that's the colors is gonna be okay, of course you can change it, we have to go submit to the city.
Understood.
You know, so for everything they wanna know, including for the shingles and the color of the shingles, we had to run it through the city to get a permit for it, you know?
That would be interesting because to see, I'd like to see this.
You know?
Yeah.
Am I to understand that you want to finish phase 4, the fencing next week, in next week?
Yeah.
Okay, because phase 4 is still not finished. Okay, yeah.
All right, so we talked about the installation of, I'm just reading the agenda by the way. Installation of fences, installation of shutters. Then let's go back, we skipped one, it says water intrusion repairs to units 737 and 1764.
Okay, for 1764, we are
I
waiting.
can't hear you.
Okay, for your unit, we are waiting for to reschedule for the water intrusion test.
I have a call, I can't hear you.
Okay, we
They
are
waiting
waiting
for the company who does the water, the water intrusion.
Okay.
Maybe during the next week.
Oh, okay, I'm Mrs. Bruce, okay, I'm the owner of 1764,
Yeah, exactly.
phase 4.
Yeah, I'm
And
thinking.
that appointment has been made, it should have been done in May, okay? And now, every time I turn around, you wanna throw an appointment at me to drop what I'm doing, so you can do the water test, which should have been done in May, okay? I returned from vacation very ill. I just got out of my bed today to attend this meeting, and I did respond to Larry. When I'm well enough, I will make him aware when I'm available for you all to come and do the water test. And I don't like last minute stuff, because I have a life too. This has been going on since March 1st, 2024. And I'm dangling, you know, with your company, and I don't like it.
So.
But it's not his company's fault,
It's
it's
not
not
the-
interrupt, he's not, he's the engineer working for you
Yeah.
guys, he's trying. So they find a
Levi,
company.
Levi,
I'm
Levi,
not.
you and I don't have any issues,
No,
okay?
no, no.
I'm
but-
talking about.
No, but I'm not
SC.
defending, I'm not defending,
I'm
I'm
not-
explaining,
Sounds like it.
I'm explaining.
Okay,
So he hired a company,
right.
well, they talking to a company who willing to do.
Mhm.
For whatever reason, the company tell them the date, the company didn't show up. They reschedule or for whatever reason, that's only that company and them, they
And
know
it will
what's
be-
the problem.
it will be this week.
So that's the problem with third parties all the time, you cannot control them, you know? And this probably most of the time is because little jobs are not so important like the big job.
Okay, as soon as I'm well enough to accept visitors, I will let you all know, okay?
Okay, 1737.
I think we are waiting for the foundation company to come and do the work. Maybe during we are waiting for the permit to hold the permit. Maybe during.
No, you're confused. Solid Foundation is doing her end unit,
Yeah.
Mr. Posada's end unit. 1737 is Betty Siskin's unit. What's left for that is I believe, the water testing, right?
Yeah.
And the
just for-
sloping
yeah, for sure,
of the
yeah.
end units.
I
Okay?
think the slope is already done.
No, the slope is not done. I provided the board an estimate. The slopes are not done.
I'm talking about the side.
More
We're
estimates.
talking about the
Okay.
sloping of the.
But it has side, dirt, and side.
All these end units, if you look, for example, if you wanna see what I'm talking about, go to phase 4, and you go walk into phase 4, and you, not the first building, but the second building, and you look, you see at one time, you see the street lower than where the sod sits, right? Over the years, sod is washed, soil has washed, and so that inclination, which helps to protect the foundation from water building up, has lowered. So now you have the street, you have the slope, and then you have it level like this. So the part that's flat needs to be again sloped, so the water runs, and we're not having foundation issues. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what desperately needs to be done to all end units if the slope is no longer there.
Well, first of all, there's a cost situation, $7,000, $7,500 for that work. Plus, we've already spent over $1 million so far. Yes, with S&D engineering, with the solid foundations, with what you paid, $685 recently for the roofs. Yeah, so all that adds up to over $1 million. So we only have what, 3.6 now? You keep adding more to the.
The sloping is not part of the project, the sloping comes out of operating. I
But
don't-
that can be done at the end, because we have people
No, it
sitting here.
cannot be
We have
done
people
at the
sitting
end.
here leaking roofs.
One
No,
thing
can't be
has
done
nothing,
again.
one
No.
thing has nothing to do with the other. There
So
must
we
be
keep spending money
multi.
so we don't have enough money.
No,
for the
It was
buildings.
water in my second bedroom. It could not wait
No,
till
no, I'm not
the
talking about that, you've already had the foundation.
Okay, there is maintenance things and there's project things. The sloping has nothing to do with the project. The sloping is what was discovered during the project and the engineers recommending to protect the foundations of this building. That can be done, it's only grass and
Where's the money coming
soil.
from? It's coming
Huh?
from the
It's
money's
gonna
coming-
come by from the maintenance, our monthly maintenance, operating account, it has nothing to do with.
So that's
our-
gonna be in addition to whatever we're already spending.
We have to spend it, now we're gonna spend a lot more on foundation issues in the future.
Well, it's
That's
the
what you
future,
don't
but we're talking a year,
understand.
people are over here
No.
with leaking roofs and.
No, well, that's part of multitasking. We're not gonna stop the world because we have to multitask. We just spent a
And
lot of
we
money.
have to stick to a budget too.
We just, and
Or
we
we don't have
are,
money.
we just spent money on those phase 4. Now we're gonna protect those end units from foundation
And you're spending
issues.
about
And we're going to spend the money and we're going to
1.2 million now.
We're going to spend the money from our operating account,
Yeah,
okay, to take care and protect the investment.
which
So
is
I'm
already
sorry.
allocated for other things.
No, it's not. Phase 4
You mean-
has money in maintenance. Look at the
Maintenance,
budget.
there's a lot of different areas of maintenance that we're paying, like landscaping,
Each
irrigation.
phase has their own budget on maintenance.
Yeah,
If
they
you
do.
look at the last financials,
Just like we
phase
have-
4 has money in their maintenance account.
Like phase 2's gonna have most of the fines. Yeah.
Sir, did you have a question?
Oh, no, you kind of answered it when you said each phase has their own budget.
Yeah, you have a common area
Yeah,
and
no,
you have a
you're
phase
good,
budget.
you're good, that was
Exactly.
pretty much it, so.
Exactly, so we're just spending, repairing foundation, there's 3 buildings that have foundation, and one of the end units. What was the cost of solid foundation, like $28,000 for this work that they're gonna be doing?
Solid foundations. Yeah, the one at the end unit, the Posadas,
Yes,
I think it was 21,000.
so that one unit is 21,000.
And the 2
And
others.
this one's arguing about creating the slope to protect the end units. Okay, thank you.
No, I'm talking about the extra expenses that you're not allocating
That
a
will
budget for.
come from
We don't even have a
operating.
budget. We don't have a budget.
That will come
Great,
from
great.
operating.
We don't even have a budget.
That will come from operating. Get familiar with your.
I know the budgets, I'm a finance professional that you work on.
Stop it. Get familiar with your
No,
financials.
you keep your smart ass remarks to yourself.
Dude, you're gonna complain anyway.
Well,
You're gonna
That's
complain
your
anyway.
first
Even if
warning.
you
Oh, whatever.
spend
Who cares
money
about
later,
that?
you're gonna be like, why didn't we do it in the first place?
Yeah.
Because.
Yeah, so
because you
anyway.
should have had a budget in the first place, you should have had a financial plan in the first place.
Yes, yes.
So I'm on end unit in phase 4, 1757. I didn't get any notification of the sloping. I need to see if my area needs to be sloped.
Yeah. I think Larry, you walked the end units already, all of them?
We only basically investigated the end units with the water treatment plant.
So
But if by chance the other end units have a similar situation, then in the upcoming days, we can always look at it and we can advise on that.
Yeah, please, because before there's any other foundation issues, we need to invest in the sloping of sod
So-
and soil.
So how do I know? if-
Let the engineer evaluate your sign unit.
Okay.
The engineer will decide. If there's enough proper sloping to protect these foundations. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so let me go, Larry, I think I'm gonna turn this back to you. This is your meeting. We covered, water intrusion, installation of fences, installation of gutters. Do you wanna give a briefing of the actual status of the project for the engineer point of view?
Okay, well, the status of the project right now is
You wanna,
we're trying to complete building 24. Yes. The structural works around building 24, because basically all the other buildings in phase 4 are completed foundations to deal with the foundation. So this part will remain until we get these foundations leveled out, completed. Now, I sent to you out the documents for the residents to sign to send back to Solid Foundations because they're waiting
I
on
sent
that.
it to Blair, because when you sent it to me, I was not able to print the sign, so I sent it to Blair.
So
You
basically,
mean the
that is,
permit application?
yes, that is holding up the process because they need to sign by the unit owner so they can proceed with the permitting.
So the unit owner needs to sign?
It's the unit owner that needs to sign.
Oh.
So the permits will be issued on the unit owner's
The
name.
three unit owners need to sign?
Yes,
for the
that's what I
permit.
said in the email.
What is the
So,
The permit for Solid Foundation to do the work on your end unit?
Right, who's mine?
no, Solid Foundation is not working on that.
Oh,
It's on the Posada, it's
Not
on the
me.
two other units.
yeah.
So the unit owners need to sign these documents and so we
Oh,
can
I'm
retain it.
sorry, I understood the association has to
No.
sign, because they're, okay.
It's the unit owners. So then we can send them back to Solid Foundation so they could proceed with the
Okay.
permitting with the city.
All right,
So I don't have to sign anything for
No.
1764.
yeah, you do.
No, the only thing we need of you, as I said in the email, when you're available, so you can inform me so I can get the water test schedule.
Right,
Because
and as I stated before you arrived a few minutes ago, I got out of my I've been ill, and I got out of bed to attend this meeting. After this meeting, I'm going back. As soon as I'm well enough to accept you and your engineers, I'll let you know.
yes, so that's what we're waiting for, so we could
Okay.
close off the water intrusion problem. Because I don't want to make 2 trips coming to just do Betty's place and then come back another day to do her place.
So Mike, can you forward those permit applications to Mike, and Mike can walk it to the unit owners? Because I thought it was for the association, so I sent it to Blair.
I'll get it from Blair.
No,
I can do that.
I don't think I have, what email is he using? Because I have Jay's email, but I don't think
Yeah,
I have
I'll give you,
Okay, so,
can you please, Mike, get those to, I
All right.
totally misunderstood the email.
so you'll give me the email and then I will forward it to you.
But Solid Foundation received their checks.
They received their free payments, yes they did. So right now, the onus is on us with the delay in getting this signed, so we can move forward with the work.
Understood.
And also, that will also delay Austro, because Austro is trying to complete phase 4, so they could apply for their payment. So depending on how long this takes, we may have to do some adjustment when they agree to send the payments.
So
So they
before
can pay.
Austro applies for their final payment from phase 4, there needs to be a punch walkthrough with some board members, whoever
definitely.
wants to.
Yes, we will
But we need to
definitely.
notify unit owners, so there's access to their backyard.
I'm sorry to interrupt, you guys are not gonna pay me the final payment. The final payment is gonna be
No,
later.
the final payment for phase 4.
It's not gonna be final payment, it's still retainage.
Because it's not going to be a
Retainage
final
is gonna
payment.
be the last.
Because as I discussed with Farouk, is because of the pending works with Building 21,
Got it.
and the fences have to remain up for at least 4 months exposed
That's
to
the
weather
10%.
before being painted. So
Got it.
what Farouk and I decided that we cannot delay his full payment. So what we will do, when he sends in his assessment, we will review it and calculate some figures to hold back while we give him a certain
Is that
percentage.
not the 10% retainage you hold back on the whole?
No,
each payment?
retainage is different because
Why?
you can charge for painting the fences if they have not been painted. That would be part of phase 4, right?
Yeah, I mean, I understand, but it's not because I don't wanna paint it or something, it's
Yes.
because it's not possible, so because
So
of the
we-
retainage stays there until the project is done.
The
You
retainage is something else.
Something else.
Retainage is
To
used
make sure it's complete the project.
to complete the project, but it's something that is calculated. Alright? The retainage, if it's 10%, it's for in case that some things are not done, the punch list items and whatever.
Really?
But like painting the fences, you cannot charge for it if it's not painted. So in order
Yes, but it's
to.
not because of me.
Right, but there's a procedure in
But they have the
construction.
10% you hold, man.
That's not for painting. So when you submit his payment, we will do this calculation.
Okay, so, what else do you have? regarding the progress.
Right, so therefore, these works are waiting, so we are trying to complete 24, so he could try to submit a payment claim. Right now, we also started works in 20 in phase 3 on the 3 buildings that have the roofs are done. But these are on, they move back to phase 4 to try to complete phase 4. And then they will fully move to phase 3 to do
So
this.
what I was getting at with the punch list walkthrough, it's very important that the unit owner be home to give you access to their back, right? But also because the unit owners themselves may have their own list pending to see you or Austro.
Yes, very.
So before you sign off on anything, make sure that you touch space with the unit owner.
Yeah, we must do a walkthrough.
No, I know that.
Yeah,
but
even if
what-
he submits his payment, we must do a walkthrough with him.
But you don't have
create a
access
punch
to some of
list.
the back units.
Yeah, we
in the
will,
wall.
we will talk to him.
You
We will-
need, yeah, you need to make sure you're speaking to the unit owner.
Yeah, so what I will do when we're ready, I will send out an email, and then I will still try to go house to house to talk to
Maybe
them.
post on their door, because some of the units have renters. Yeah, so you
But
may
we will
get in
get it.
touch with the unit owner, but they're not here, you know. It may be a corporation that owns it, so you really need to knock on the door and make arrangements with the occupants.
I have a comment right here while we're talking about how much these expenses are coming up to, because now we're paying more money. I wanna know how much phase 4 is allocated out of this $4.6 million loan versus the other phases, since we're all on our own budgets per condominium.
Do you have a copy of the contract? It's all spelled out.
That's
there.
not, no, that's not the same thing. We're
Yes, it
talking
is.
about monthly to year quarterly expenses.
No.
Yes, that's what
The
we're spending.
allocation,
We're
the
spending that.
allocation is that there's a complete breakdown on the
Mhm.
contract.
It doesn't matter about what the contract says.
Yes, it does.
No, I'm asking about a budget. You know what a budget is? How much you pay, the whole association pays?
Okay, I'm not gonna.
That's a budget.
I'm not gonna.
We don't have one for
Yes,
this
ma'am,
project.
I'll help you.
Phase 3, 1740, I think I'm gonna be speaking to you. The gentleman that you have working on taking down the wood in the front, they went last week at taking and they took down the screens from our windows. They're missing now. Those are new, hurricane windows and stuff we got. So, I don't know where they are. I spoke to Lazalo. He said that he spoke to his boss about it, that they will replace them, but I wanna make sure that they get replaced. Because we only been there 3 years, we paid $9,000 for those things, and the screens are missing. I don't know where they put them, I have no idea, but they need to be replaced. 1740, yes. We weren't home, so that's why, other than that, we wouldn't
Ask about that,
So where do you guys put them when they remove them?
No, it's
You
a
can't just
contract,
leave
it's
them
the
on
workers
side.
doing the work, I'm not too sure where they put them.
Okay,
Alright, they
yeah.
must have put them in certain somewhere secure.
The guy asked them and everybody said they didn't take the screens away. And I'm like, you had to take the screens away because my neighbor is right on the
But
side.
it depends, because if they, that's phase 3 you're talking about.
Phase 3, 1740, that you just said that you started on.
Buildings maintains this.
I'm sorry?
It's buildings maintained, right?
It's the what?
Building
Buildings
17.
Yes, yeah, the unit is 1740.
Yeah, we'll investigate that.
So yeah, the screens are missing, the sliding door and my room window, the screens are missing. They're not in the front, the guy, the
Now, they are the back or the front of the building?
they're in the front.
The
When you
windows
guys
are-
start to take off the wood, you're taking off, they took the screens off.
Okay.
And they're not nowhere to be found, and they're new.
Okay, we will,
I sent the email
Ask
to
about that.
Omega Villa, I spoke to Lazalo, I got his
Lazalo.
number. So I'm gonna just keep in touch with you guys when it's finished, because they need to be replaced.
That's good.
All right.
Yes, so
Go ahead.
after that, they complete phase 4, then we will be going full steam into phase 3 to try and complete all the removal of the wood, the trees, repair it, and then the fences. I walked the entire section of phase 3 the three buildings, that are what the roofs were done with the fence contractor, we measured all the front and back fences. So everything is rectified. And the fence hooks that you were worried about that they were not going to do at the front, we measured all of them in phase 4.
You
So
looked
they will be
for
there.
where the original
Yeah, we
posts were?
looked for the original. There are a few of them that you can't find it, but then we're going to try to align all the other fences to try and get everything looking neat.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
So, I know you're saying about phase 3, you're going to phase 3. Whatever happened with the plan of like having a crew in each phase? Like, why can't phase 1 get any fences? Why can't phase 2 get any fences started, at least some progress?
Okay. The fence and the stuff. If you notice, most of your waters run at the top of the fences. right? So that means that when they remove the guard, they'll have to redo the roofs. First part of the building to try to do is do the roofs because they have to remove the gutters. Then do the fences because the gutters have to be reinstalled running at the top of the fences.
Okay.
So that's basically.
Yeah, I'm just worried, 'cause I don't know, by the time you guys get over there, my fence is, you lean on it, it's a good chance it's gonna fall over. Like, one fence in my row is new, and that's because somebody slammed into it with a
Well,
car.
right now, the roofs are the most important. We have hurricane season coming.
No, I know.
And we
I
have
got
a lot
my
of
windows are
people
probably
in
gonna be in next week,
here- A
so.
lot of people in here with leaky roofs already.
Yeah, no, I
So why don't you just have that piece that's loose removed? Get his unit number, have the maintenance man just remove it.
Yeah, I mean, my door, my wife can't even get out, because we have an actual gate in front, but the door, when it gets wet, you can't move it. I can move it, obviously, but my wife
And
can't.
the wood
1725,
Phase,
phase 1.
I was just, I think you were at my mom's house. I own 1737 in phase 1. And, I mean, we had that problem of the leak for a long time. They go, they patch it, and then it comes back when it rains. And it has made a lot of damages inside of the ceiling. I mean, who's gonna be repairing that, and when are we gonna see some repairing on our roof? Like, it's kind of urgent, I mean.
The last 2 points on the agenda talks windows and roofs.
Okay.
All right. So now, if we have to go to the other point, Patsy, we're done with we can move to windows and
It's
doors,
your
right?
agenda, go
Okay.
ahead.
So with the windows and doors, I have produced a spreadsheet which I sent to the association for the cost of all upper windows if they're to be replaced new. And I also circulated a letter stating the conditions which we're going to use to go through these windows. Firstly, there was a document which was sent by the city, which we use as reference. What the city is saying, if when we go up to deal with the window, if the window is bad, then it has to be replaced. If when we remove it, when we inspect it, it's damaged, and we figure or assess that it's not safe to be replaced for the resident, then it has to be replaced. But if it has to be replaced, it will have to be replaced with impact window as a whole. Also, if the window is good and we're going to replace it, then you have to install a shutter if it's above. All right. If it can be accessed simply by walking to it, if you have to use a ladder to get to it, then in that case you will have to put a shutter.
Well, why would you replace the windows?
I didn't say replace. I said if the window is good after we remove it and we do the works, we'll replace it. It's construction works. If the frame around the window is bad, we have to remove it to remove it. Exactly.
But if the frame's good.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I said. If we remove the window and we replace the same window, then what the city is quoting is that you will have to put a shutter. Now the shutter will have to be able to be operated from the inside, not the outside. So basically, one way or the other, there will be an expense. It's either you put a new window, or if the window is removed and replaced, then you have to replace it with
Or
a
it's
shutter.
expense if the frame's good and you don't have to replace the window at all.
Exists that option also. So therefore, we are facing these different options. So at the end of the day, it's up to the residents.
It is.
But
Wait, can you clarify that for me? I'm sorry. You were saying if the window's good, there's no expense at all? Or
basically, what the city is saying, if the window is good, they would not penalize anything on anything if it's being replaced, if it's being continued, if you continue using it.
And
But
also,
then it would have to be assessed and be sure that the window is good, because we know that these windows are 40 years old.
it doesn't matter. If it's
All right.
not leaking and you don't need to replace it, then you don't replace it.
Now, the other thing, the contractor is not going to give warranty
I don't
on
care
this
about
window.
his warranty. I'm
right.
concerned that he'll even cover this property, given his history that I found online negligence and such.
Okay?
Okay.
So that's where we are with the window and the roof system. So therefore, in order for the contractor to start on a building, the unit owners would have to understand that if while the works are being done and the window have to be removed, if the window is not good, then you have to replace it for the window.
And I can replace it with anybody else. It doesn't have to go with you.
No, well, if the contractor is working on your units and he removes the window, it's not good, then he has to wait until you can produce a new window to move forward with the work.
Well, I would like a second opinion because I don't trust your contractor. Number one, he's igniting the license.
This is opinion from the engineer, has nothing to do with the
Or-
contractor.
I don't care.
The window will have to be.
They got negligence like claims too. Hey, I looked them up too. I know you don't care.
Yeah, because the new window usually takes like
That's why you didn't
8
guess it.
weeks to.
That was my question is, all right, so let's say everybody in my building that doesn't have impact windows agrees to change a window.
Yeah.
Now, I'm finally, my windows are here. They're probably gonna get installed within the next week. I'm gonna have a date tomorrow. But with that being said, they took almost 3 months. So
Exactly.
if my neighbor decides they wanna do it, now we have to wait 3 months for him to do it. And then another 3 months if his neighbor decides that they're gonna do it finally. You get me?
I
Like,
understand.
so, if we don't all agree right away, are we gonna just constantly, because let's say there's 5 people in my building, so now I'm waiting on 4 other people.
Right, so that's where it can get ugly, right? So that's why, it would be advisable to the residents, and I don't know what's in people's pockets,
Yeah.
all right? That these windows are 40-year-old windows, they are old, all right? They have been weathered. In order not to slow down the project, if you can afford to buy the windows, it would be better if whoever secures it in bulk. So if the contractor agrees to secure the windows, he goes to a company, he orders 100 windows, he will get it at a good price. The company will then secure them for him. So if he starts on a building and the building has 20 windows, then he has these 20 windows that he will just, as he's going along, to just install. The works will just roll smoothly. Whereas if when he's looking, okay, this person was waiting, okay, if my window is removed and it's okay, then it can be replaced. No, when it's removed, if it's bad, then we have to wait until you can get a window.
So there is no way you can know before you remove the window. You can inspect it and tell me this is not gonna work, the frame is damaged, or you don't know.
But the
You have to wait till you take it
window
down.
is in place, right? So even if you try to shake it, it's fastened to the corners,
Exactly.
you won't know. So it's only maybe when it's off, you will find out it's flexible or it's falling apart or
First of
something.
all, you're not taking my windows off. I've already sent, my attorney's already sent a letter.
You mean your prepaid attorney?
It doesn't matter, I'm picking up on it, it's not, it's a mean to prepay, because he was the one that take it to
Your
court,
attorney is
not
not
the
an
Lex law. I want it
engineer.
on record.
Your
Period.
attorney is not an engineer.
Because I know how sleazy
This
and
board
shady
will
you
be
are.
guided by the engineer, not an attorney.
Well, that's fine, this is gonna be investigated, you're gonna investigate.
Excellent. Yeah, wait.
Yeah, July 1st.
Yeah, wait.
I can hear.
Windows through you, getting the windows, you said it can be boarded up.
Well, we will not have a choice but to board it up.
Now, would work continue with the boarded window?
Well, most likely, it's just that the building won't be completed.
And will it pass inspection?
I would not
An
pass
attorney
inspection.
is an attorney.
All right?
Can you stop so I can hear the people?
I don't care what you have to say.
I
So
don't hear
basically-
what you have to say.
Yeah,
No one
But
else.
in any
Because
case,
I'm not wrong. She's
Hey,
right.
in any case,
Yeah, no.
in any case,
It's not.
Yeah,
when we
no.
get to a building,
Yes.
No, it's not.
we have
Yes.
to
We're not
inspect.
joining.
Sean, everybody needs to hear what's going on. It's not your show. Stop
I'm
being
not
such a
going to
narcissist.
listen to an attorney who's not a structural engineer. We
Therefore,
are
more or less, you
guided
should
by
be.
an engineer, period, and a
I don't
story.
care.
I don't care either.
But if they mess with my property, I guarantee you I'll slap you with a
But
lawsuit.
But no one's talking
the
about
only word you know, I'll sue, I'll sue.
Have I not
I'll sue.
already?
Oh, my God.
Not?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not in the Broward County Code for it. One meeting
Yes.
to see.
Don't worry,
But
don't
in
take
any
it
case-
easy.
Yes, because she's trying, she's
Yeah.
let me finish.
Who's talking?
Let me
Yeah.
finish.
Oh, I can't
But in
wait.
any case, we know we'll be removed.
I can't either.
Only
You're already right up.
Go ahead, Sean. It's not your show. Let him talk.
One meeting, please. She won't start, so
Yeah.
why should I?
Yeah, oh, right.
And you, why don't you let them teach your building?
Shut up, no.
What are you doing?
Stop it. I don't want to get your shit
I don't care.
Sean.
I'm not gonna, I don't just like.
Stop.
I think
Stop.
we're gonna take a recess.
What?
I think we're gonna take a 5-minute recess.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, take a recess, everybody can walk, because you can't propose
Take a
the place you're gonna walk in the room.
Be quiet, so this man can
Let's
talk.
finish up the meeting.
Please be quiet.
All right, I'm gonna open my.
So in any case, we have to inspect where the window is mounted to determine if the window is to be removed or not. If when we get to your unit, your framing is bad, the window has to be replaced. It has to be removed.
It's my responsibility, not yours.
All right? We are hired to do a job, and we will do the job to the best of our ability. If it has to be removed, it has to be removed. And then go to the board. I'm saying it question. If it has to be removed, it has to be removed.
Continue, Larry,
And that's
please.
it.
Because of
So
nothing.
therefore, seeing that the prices of the new windows, you have them on the spreadsheet, we need to move forward.
Before you do your job, you do the replacement.
Right.
You did all this replacement.
I have, the spreadsheet has for all the phases per building, each unit. And most units have 2 windows. Alright, the units that have 2 windows, which is 52 by 38, each of the 2 windows is $950. Those with the units with the larger windows, which are 52 by 53, the cost of the new window is $1,100 for one.
That's for hurricane windows?
And the,
Yeah.
and units with no windows.
No, well, we're not dealing with the lower windows yet. The lower windows, we don't want to make much of it. We need to do the roof, so we need to move forward with the upper ones. When we're doing the lower, then it's a different situation. Because the lower window, if you remove it while you're working, you can always block it from plywood, because you don't have to climb up and down to do it.
I say you need the roofs and forget about the windows, and let them get on those fine.
Okay,
So therefore-
Larry, question for you, sorry. I saw the spreadsheet and I sent it to Rhonda. Okay,
Yes.
but that's attached to a letter that's a draft. That's why I haven't shared it with the board. So is it a draft that you sent me?
I will redo it.
You what?
I will redo it. I forgot to remove the draft.
Okay,
Sorry
so
about that.
what you sent me, I can send to the board.
Yes, that's what
Okay.
it is.
So when the list of units that have all the pricing, like most of the windows are $1,900, like.
That, the $1,900 is for those with 2. It's $950 for one.
$950 for one, so the units that you identified, some units, most of them are 2 windows that need replaced. I see a few 4 of them.
Correct. Some of the units have 4 windows,
Okay.
4 upper windows.
So that document that you want me to upload it to the website under the Windows category?
Well, yeah,
so
if you
know
just
can
upload
see?
it there, then any person can just go in there with just check which phase they're in. If you're in phase 1, building whichever, and then you will see your name or the apartment number and the cost of the windows for the upper windows.
Larry, the information you gave out about the windows, I heard in a meeting with the city of Plantation. So I'm confirming what they told you, because I heard the same thing 4 months ago, okay?
Well, basically, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
The city is not forcing to put new windows.
Right.
If the window is good, it can stay. But if we have to remove it to do the works, and it's not good, then it has to replace it.
They said the same thing at me.
Basically, because we can do it, it's a code, it's the Florida building code.
Because if it doesn't.
I'm not speaking with you, I'm speaking with
Okay,
him.
but if it-
Okay, I'm speaking with
Well,
the engineer. I do care.
Because my office will get fucked up.
Larry, I'm saying, I heard the
Yes.
same information from the city of Plantation in a meeting about our windows, because I
Sorry.
brought up our windows. So,
Holes in
thank
the
you.
roof.
I think the frustration here is that you didn't account that when you submitted your plans and we made the budget. And that's why we're now in that position that after we have to pay all this much money for the reconstruction, now we have to come up with more money to replace the window. And that's the problem. And we have to find the truth, and we cannot just go for, what everybody says. So having a second opinion on my side, like having somebody that I'm gonna pay and have a second opinion, I think will work for me, because I don't know if I have the money. I asked, you said, you called me once and you said you willing to replace, and I said how much it's gonna be. I cannot say, I can afford them or not. I still haven't received any.
Correct, so what I'm saying is, if your window has just 2 windows above, it's $950 and you will give back window, which is $1,900 for 2 windows.
Okay, but
If
how
you
about
have
if the
4,
rest?
because if you want to use with 4 of the upper windows that are the big ones,
But
then it's
if that's the price if everybody does it. How about, like, he's already doing it on his own, so it's not gonna be part of the.
Well, if you choose to go and buy your window and have it there, then that's fine. As long as,
No,
as
but
long as
the
it
price
has to
will
be
stay the
impact
same.
windows.
The price will stay the same, because it's not gonna be open anymore. That's my question.
Exactly, because I asked the contractor to price the windows, so they priced it based on maybe a quantity.
Okay.
The company offered them a price. But if you go to buy the individual, I don't know what's going on.
Right.
Okay?
Well, that's something you know on the side.
Alright, so right now, in order for us to move forward with the roofs, we need unit owners to understand that if we start with, because the contractor is ready, because I think there are 6 permits that they're renewing because they have them approved already, and because of the lack of time, they expired, so they're renewing to start a few more roofs. But we need the unit owners to be a consensus of what the situation is.
Yeah, my permit was pulled last year, wasn't used.
Okay?
For my building, because the construction schedule was changed.
So we need to move forward. So I'm hoping that you could
Moving
post
forward,
this
is making
information
better decisions.
onto the website, let unit owners review and contact the management
Or
as to
attorney.
how we move forward.
Or attorney.
Question.
Yeah.
You already met one of
And
them.
it has to be the entire building. You guys have, once you start on one building,
So
it has
because
to
we
be.
don't have to do the entire.
Because for instance, I know that one of my neighbors next to me is willing to do it. She was here at the last meeting and she was ready to do it, the window. But, so her roof and my roof are connected, because that's where our roofs slant down. It's side to side, we have the 2 big windows, So she's willing to do it, so that's our big roof, which is the major concern in our houses.
But basically, I walked around in phase 1 and 2, a few buildings in phase 2, and most of the residents I met are willing to put new windows, they just wanted to know the price. So seeing that right now we have the prices, as soon as they inform, then I believe we can move forward.
Does everybody have set up your portal access to the Omega website? So I think what we'll have to do, Mike, we're gonna have to mail that list of, the spreadsheet that he did, identifying the size of the windows and the costs, the bulk costs that they were, so they can make a decision.
Well, first of all, they don't have to make decisions. The unit owners are the ones that have to decide what they're gonna do about their windows. If they don't need to replace, they don't have to replace. Window system and roofing systems are 2 completely different systems. There's no reason a contractor or even a roofer can come in and replace these roofs. Nothing to do with the windows.
The reason that they have to deal with the windows is the facades have to be changed. The
So what?
facades are
People change the
1
facades over the years and they didn't break the windows.
and the wood framing
So what?
has had to do with the facades.
So what? It's been, I've had my windows, frames around the windows, the siding.
Anyway, I didn't come here to fight,
Well,
I
I'm
came here to
telling
do
you,
my work,
this is my property,
okay?
and you're gonna be working on it. All of us.
Our property.
I didn't come here to fight. I
But
came
you
here
guys
to-
may not be in the details. You're welcome to
Try to fight with
I
yourself.
see fraud and bullshit in here. Okay, yes. That's what I'm saying.
I
So
can't.
basically, that's where we are
Go
from.
ahead. Sorry for the rude
And
board
you're saying
members.
when it's printed in the paper.
Go ahead.
it will-
So basically, that's where we are for now. So we need to circulate this information so we can, within the next week or two,
Yeah,
know where we are so we can move forward in working on the roofs.
okay. All right, so, that letter then has to be off of draft mode,
I will fix it up.
and then I'll
I
have
will fix
Eric
it, I will
post
send it
it
to you.
tonight.
Okay?
I'll have Eric post it tonight and send out a mass communication,
When I
so
get
that they know
home,
something new posted, and then we'll go from there.
when I get home, I will remove the draft writing on it and re-mail it to you.
Thank you. And then I'll send it to the board and then we'll upload it. All right, so let's see what's next on the agenda.
Yeah, that's all I got. Now we're into any other business, if any other person have questions, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're started in phase 3, and I have hurricane shutters, and we're being advised that you're going to be coming into phase 3 soon. My concern is I remove my hurricane shutters, and then a hurricane comes. Is there a procedure in place that coincides that? Is this
Basically, when we come into open your building, then we will advise you when to remove the hurricane shutters.
And the reason I use.
Don't remove it unless you come into open your.
That's why I use this for.
I removed mine and I had my cousin put them back up, because I was nervous. Mine just got
Phase
up.
4 in your October phase 3 that you've done.
Yeah.
Does your cousin do that?
And it's on that record too.
When you're
Yeah.
getting, like, finishing phase 3.
I had to pay them
Well.
free.
Right now, moving
Yeah.
forward depends on this upper window situation. Because all the remaining buildings in phase 3 has upper windows. All those in phase 4, in phase 2 and 1, majority of them have upper windows.
What if I could bring a contractor
So
in?
basically,
Replace it without doing that.
that is the situation.
The situation is we hire another contractor.
Okay? And basically, at this point, after 40 years, for safety purposes, installing a new window, there's no losing that. You understand? To me, it's the best thing to do.
No, it's not. If you don't have to spend
Because-
extra money, we've already had to spend a lot of money.
You know, if you go through the building codes, it's stating that windows at a certain height, second story, are to be able to sustain winds of about 130 miles an hour.
You know how long this one's been there?
You are waiting for everybody to change the window in order to start our roof in.
Because our private contract.
I
Sean,
want to say
please
that
talk
I'm
so I can take notes and other people know what's happening.
If we
We got a recording, we got a recording.
But you're not sending it to other people, you're not saving that.
What do you have that for?
I submitted it for everyone.
It's
Oh,
when
please.
it's sold out.
I don't even know you, I'm not even know you.
If like he said, the order his windows, it takes 3 months. So if it takes 3 months, so the contractor is going to sit waiting.
No, you are to do this all these years, to do this all these years, but these people don't stop. You do this, and I'm coming at you. You know that.
That's really what stopped.
I got all the attorneys ready, and I got the state ready, and guess who else is in the I'm talking to her, I'm not talking to you.
But you're not letting anybody listen.
Because you thought that he got upset and left, because I said that he will not be able to get paid for the fences, the painting part of the fences if they're not painted, because according to the code, the wood has to stay out in the elements for 4 months before it's painted. So because I said that we will be deducting the painting cost from his claim, he got upset and left. So everything have procedures. So if he has windows that are not installed, building is incomplete, we can't sign off on it, he can't get paid.
So at the very least, even if people start ordering windows for phase 1 tomorrow, we won't
Well, maybe
The
the
reason why-
other option we could look at is climbing up there and try to do a visual inspection of the windows, check its functionality. But yes, even if we do that, we won't be able to see the frame.
Well, first of all,
Because the T111 or the facade has to be removed, so we can really inspect the framing that's in.
Only reason why I'm asking is because we're starting to pay for this loan this month. So it's really hard to pay for something that you're not seeing any results. And with the history that I've seen so far, who knows that by the time you get to phase one, you're not getting any money left.
that's my point exactly.
You know, it's really hard to justify starting to pay for something and see nothing, not even a simple fence being fixed or anything.
Yeah, and originally, this
You
construction.
understand what I'm saying? So that's why I keep asking these questions,
I
because
understand it.
I was proactive because I came to the meeting and I heard that we were probably gonna have to replace the window, so I replaced.
Well, I understand this too.
So, hear this now. We can continue with installing fencing, alright? But then when we remove the fences, we're going to remove the gutters. Now, when we remove the gutters, we're not going to replace them until we remove the roof. Now, we're going to get complaints from everybody that water is running all over the place. So whichever way you look at it, it's going to be tedious. It's going to be problematic.
I get it, but we have to figure out something, because, I mean, every week we keep coming, we talk about the windows up top. But if people aren't gonna do them, every week keeps passing and people are just not gonna do them.
But we are making progress. From where we were,
Force
where we
people
are now.
to change the
You
windows.
said a couple buildings, like this building here in phase 3 and the building in phase 2 that we're gonna be able to get started within the next couple weeks. Is that still in motion?
Basically, there are some residents that are ready to move forward.
Yeah.
As soon as I give them the pricing and they agree, I think they will pay the contractor so you can start securing the windows. Because I think there's a building phase 1 that has only 3 units. I think these 3 people are up and ready to go, which we wanted to use it as a pilot project to start off.
Well, there was a couple of, I'm sorry, there were a couple buildings from the last meeting that was said. There were a couple buildings from last meeting that was said that was ready to start. Building, but there was 2 in phase 2, and then 1 in phase 1, and then this one in phase 3. So
Yeah,
it was like 5 or 6.
but don't forget also that we need to get this whole thing organized because they have to apply for the proof permits.
So they have to apply for these permits first, and then once they apply for that permit,
And the permit is approved, then they start. They cannot start without the
how
permit.
long more or less, so the ball gets rolling at least on those buildings?
Well, first we need to get consensus that if you guys, whoever can help, get consensus that yes, we're moving forward. Everyone is agreeing to put in new windows just to be safe. You know?
There's a question for you. There are some buildings that, that have just 2 owners that have upper windows, right?
Correct.
And so in his case, if he has the other unit owner in agreement in his building,
Are there only 2 unit owners with upper windows in here?
No, so the 2, I have one, and then my immediate neighbor, which is the edge, the last one, she has one, which is the same exact roof, it's connected. You know, the sloping side of our roofs, we're connected. So we're the end of our building. Then after that, there's another one, but it's a smaller window, and then I think one more has a smaller window. There's like 4 of us total, but,
For example,
you know.
if the other persons are willing or understanding that they want to put in new windows, or if your windows are good that can be removed and replaced,
My thing is the neighbor on the other side, I mean, I don't think I don't think they can afford it.
but even if they don't put new windows, but they have to put shutters after we finish the work before going to put in the doors. So one way or the other is going to be
Yeah.
expensive.
Why do you remove the windows if there's no reason to structurally?
Alright.
Answer my question.
You can just read the
No,
email that came
I think I need to have
from
my attorneys get in touch with your attorneys.
Just read the email
No,
that was
no,
circulated from the department, you'll understand.
No,
So you
no,
ask him a
Very
question
smart.
if you don't listen to him, that doesn't make sense. If you're asking him a question, how are you gonna say, I don't listen to you?
Because he's got one point and he's not swayed on anything else because
My point is to move this project forward. That's why
these windows?
Do
Who's
we
getting
have
the
a
money?
plan if not everybody agrees to change the window? We're still.
Where's the money going?
That's it.
Do we have a plan
The
in
thing
that
is,
case that?
if there's some people, as I said, that just cannot afford the one to change it, then we can go up there, inspect the window, try and give a visual, say, okay, maybe this window can stay, but if someone will refuse, remove the facade. If the frame is bad, and remove it and it's bad,
But you should
then
start with
we
those
have
people
no
that
option.
are not replacing the window because we need to move
I don't
forward.
know who they are.
Oh, but you were in every house the other day.
I went to them, they said, they all told me depending on the cost. So right now, I have the cost arranged with the building manager, with the management going to try to circulate this thing around. Then we will find out within the next week or two who is willing, who is not willing. So if we can get a couple buildings with persons that are willing, then that's easy, we just try to move forward. And those that are not willing, then we try to find.
Sometimes it's about the budget, not being able to pay for them. So that's the part, like what are we gonna do with the people that can really afford it? And then for them, we're not gonna be able to get our roof and we're paying.
And
for
also,
it.
roofs have nothing to do with windows, period.
So to answer your question, ma'am, for those that would have to be referred to legal.
But look,
And
see,
let the legal, let the attorney decide how.
get your attorney and have it investigated. This is my advice.
So then we're gonna go after the
It's fine.
owners that who can afford that window.
Well, it's not a matter of affording, I mean, if it's deemed that you have to replace the window, right?
They'll put you in court, that's what it is.
It will follow the legal proceedings. Yeah.
So then you're gonna be forced to do it.
Eventually.
Well, what's gonna happen is I file a complaint
We
with
need
the
to
state.
get the rest.
Because all these things are not looking right. And they're coming
Eventually,
in.
it'll go to legal, and then it'll take the legal
Well, the state
process.
legal
The engineer was just informing me that we have 3 buildings in phase 1, 2, and 6, that everyone has agreed. And so forward, so since that's the case, I will ask the contractor to move forward with the permits, securing the permits for the roof restoration.
right?
Yeah, and then the residents could get in contact with the contractor so he can secure the windows.
And how long would this take more or less for them to see action happening in their face?
Well, seeing that, okay, we have these 3 buildings.
Yes.
So from tomorrow, I'm going to start communicating with Austria so they can apply for the roofing permits.
Okay.
Alright, so in the process, while the permits are being processed, I hope that in that time, they can either pay for the windows, let him order them. I'm hoping that within the permit may take 4 to 6 weeks, I'm not too sure. It
Well,
depends.
don't they have the permit, they just need to renew it? Isn't that what I heard?
Well, that, I'm not too sure if they have originally applied for permits for all the phases, or they have done some only for some buildings.
Okay.
So
Alright.
4 to 6 weeks to get the permit.
To get the permit approved from the city,
And this is for the roof, right?
the roof.
Okay, how about phase 2? Has the roof been started on at phase 2?
He's just talking about the buildings that are ready for the,
Oh,
for the windows.
okay, phase 3.
Yeah, that's phase 1, 2, and part of phase 3.
But the roofs in phase 2, have they been started on? No.
No, because
Okay.
of the window situation.
So, I mean, even if it's not my building, I just wanna see some progress, even if it's the building across from me.
We're going to start.
You understand, like,
Alright,
it's just, we
you
gotta
guys
start
notice
seeing
we're
something,
getting
you
some.
know?
Look, right now, we have 3 buildings that we can move forward in phase 1.
Because right now, you drive by every day, and you're like, damn, phase 4 is looking nice. And then you go to my area, and it's, just looks like a dump.
But the fencing will continue. We will have to try to continue the fencing work even if that's what we can get to. If you want
What
to
is
see
that
something happen.
hinder the
But-
contractor from bringing in things? If you put up a fence?
Well, that's the other issue.
Yeah.
Okay, put up
I'm
new
just saying
fences when they come to work with the roofing and all this stuff. They
Because
bring
the
square
roofers
footage.
come, they back up with their trucks and stuff,
Exactly.
and I think it's.
So it's a process.
At this point, I'll be paying for somebody else's.
And then we'll have a petition saying, once the work is completed and the final.
That's our attorney talking about the city plantation. I got it on
Your
Alright.
level of
Now,
narcissistic
what the
intelligence
city
that
needs
you
to
raise
provide,
right now
and
is
if it asks, I do not, the city of plantation doesn't.
I don't know, you know, we are having a more legal,
Sorry, but I'm-
looking for attention everywhere.
no guarantee to be reduced.
Now, when will they be starting on our unit, phase two? When are you gonna start on that? Phase two.
Phase two, which
I don't know.
phase two,
We are has a party. Finally. Because we would have been with done this back in 2008 if they hadn't had their party. Period. Yeah. I've been waiting.
From there, I asked somebody to come by.
now 2007,
You know what the biggest satisfaction is?
You have to live with yourself. You've been doing this. What about the cuts in my roof? Can you explain those to me? How did you think it was justified to have one of your roofers or whoever cut holes in my roof? Who else is on my roof? Who else? Yeah. You act like a boss lady, so we're standing in front of all. No. I'm done with you destroying my property. Yeah, good. You better be lawyered up.
You got any more questions from the audience? I have one more question. Yes, ma'am. The payment booklet for the. Okay, this is about construction, ma'am. We can talk about payment. Anything about construction, this is a construction meeting.
We are done.
Yes, sir.
Do you have anything else?
no, I think I'm done.
Okay.
Until in the next.
Did you have your hand up, sir? All right, make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Use this for presentations and all these meetings and stuff I have to go to. Yes. Even I do. I'm working. But no. Usually I do Teams meetings online. But sometimes I have to go to client's office and give presentations.
If I get presentation, financial aid.
You know what? I need to do. I was been thinking about doing. Looking at what do you call it? Going to retirement. Well, but I have friends that work online, and I love that idea, because I love working out of my house. I'm so spoiled.
Oh, you want the online?
But they're out there, they're just hard to find. But I want to do that. So it's going into the
Okay, so if we got a spreadsheet, and I guess what we're gonna do is send down
Each one.
that thing to all the numbers, and then put it all in the numbers. Get it fixed, and I'm not sure how that's going. But then we can say, hey, okay, we building